provide a diverse range of services to an equally diverse range of clients. Today, Sarah is going to talk about outsourcing, what it is, why you should consider it, and how best to go about it. So let's welcome Sarah Higgins. All yours, Sarah.
So good morning. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Anna. So yes, I am Sarah Higgins. I'm the owner of the Helping Hands Group. So we're a small Melbourne-based team of business professionals. So we primarily provide business software consulting, virtual assistance, and software training. Now, I wanted to have a little talk this morning about the generalities of outsourcing rather than specifically how the Helping Hands Group do it, because it's something that a lot of business owners want to get into, but often don't know where they should start, don't necessarily know what it's about, don't know how it applies to them, or just don't know how to go about getting it done right. So what is outsourcing and why is it for me? Well, outsourcing is pretty simple. It's getting rid of the tasks that you don't need to do yourself, and also getting rid of the associated headaches that come with them. Successful people have a team around them. We see sporting personalities, world famous chefs, global music megastars. All of those people look like solos, but they're not. They have a huge team of people around them. So if they do it, why shouldn't we as business owners be doing it as well? Just because you look like you're doing it on your own doesn't mean you actually should be. And why should you consider outsourcing your tasks if it's not something you've done before? Well, firstly, it frees you up. It means that you can focus on what you should be doing as a business owner, not what actually needs to be done. It means that you can focus your skill set on a much narrower beam. For example, depending on what you do you really need to know how to write documentation, how to manage your social media, the ins and outs of how your accounts work? Or should you be taking the knowledge, the time it would take to attain that knowledge, and focusing on things that are more relevant to the services that you offer your clients? And it's a much smarter use of resources. When you consider outsourcing, you should actually have a think about how much per hour you charge for your services. So when you create a quote for your client, what are you calculating that quote on? $60 an hour, $100 an hour, $200+ an hour? Whatever that magic figure is, that is how much you're paying for the tasks that you don't outsource. Because for every hour that you're spending on those tasks, that is one more hour that you cannot be spending on billable client service time. Here's the first big objection. Nobody knows my business like I do. And yep, you're absolutely right. Nobody knows your business like you do. It's your baby, you know it, you probably grew it, and you love it, even when you hate it. But how much can your business grow if you don't let someone else take in some of the work? Have a look at this image. Let's pretend that within this purple circle, this is everything that your business needs to run smoothly. So the client-facing things, the behind-the-scenes things, the legal things, the admin things, the whole lot. Typically, that is the amount within that circle that you as a business owner really ought to be focusing on, because that's the amount that you have to do yourself. This, however, is the amount that the typical business owner believes that they ought to be doing themselves or have to do themselves. And this is very, very common. And I'm as guilty of this as anyone else is. But unfortunately, while we're trapped in that mindset, we have to ask ourselves the question, are you really that indispensable? Because if you are, what's going to happen if you get ill? Or if you decide that you actually want to go on a holiday. How many business owners aren't going on holidays at the moment? So that raises the question, what can I outsource? Because of course that's the other big question. Once we've gotten around that mindset that maybe it is okay to let a bit of our business baby go, what do we let go of? Well, we're going to share the Helping Hands Group's 4-step process, which I actually got down to 3 steps, to planning your outsourcing. Step 1, take a bit of time and make a list of all of the repeating tasks that you perform as a part of your business. Here's a few examples. Some of them may be relevant to you. All of them may be relevant to you. They can be daily, weekly, or monthly, as long as they're recurring. I'm asking you to focus on the recurring tasks because they have the biggest benefit for outsourcing. Once you offload them once, you continue to get the benefits of someone else doing them. However, it is worth mentioning at this point that you should also consider outsourcing what we nickname the once in a blue moon tasks. We have some clients that give us certain tasks to do because they pop up so rarely within their business that it's not worth them as an owner taking the time and the attention to learn how to do it. It's just not worth the payoff to them. So highly recurring tasks are a good one to consider outsourcing. So we've made a list of all the things that we do, either daily, weekly, or monthly. Now we're going to split this list into 2 categories. We're going to look at the things that we like doing and the things that we don't like doing. We're going to put the things that we enjoy doing or like doing off to one side for now. If you like doing them, you don't want to outsource them. They're the fun bit of your business. However, we will actually come back to those. So now we've got our recurring tasks, and these are tasks that we do not enjoy doing. Now we're going to split them into 2 further categories. We don't enjoy doing these tasks, but there are some that we might absolutely have to do ourselves. Now, bearing in mind that one there that I've marked, payroll, is not a perfect example of that because there are outsourcers who will manage payroll for you. This is purely for an example. Things that you can show someone else. O for outsource. So now we've got a list. These are recurring tasks. You do not enjoy doing them, and they don't have to be done by you. These are now the perfect outsourcing material for your business. This is what you should be getting rid of. And bearing in mind, this will be different for a lot of businesses. Your list may be different. How you view whether you have to do it yourself or not is probably different. The real key, and this is the big stumbling block, this step, because this is where you've got to get out of your own head. I generally find the big question that you have to ask at this stage, where it's, does it absolutely have to be me, is generally think about it from a legal perspective. If there's no legal reason why it has to be you, there is very seldom an operational reason why it has to be you. So now we've gotten out of our own heads and realised that as business owners, yes, we ought to be outsourcing. We've made a list of recurring tasks that we do not enjoy, that don't have to be done by us. Now it's time to get rid of them. So how do we find someone to outsource those tasks to? Well, there's us, obviously. Like, I'd be silly if I didn't say, please contact the Helping Hands group. We're happy to help you. And we are. However, other options, speak to other business owners that you know. Who are they using and what are they doing? Because remember, even if you do decide to speak to us, we certainly don't provide the full range of services that you may wish to outsource, especially if you're looking at the accounting or finance side of outsourcing or the legal side of outsourcing. Those are 2 great examples of where we don't get involved. One of the big decisions is whether you want to work with a domestic or international business. And that comes down purely to personal preference. However, it is worth noting that if you do work internationally, traditionally they are far cheaper, and so it is a much more effective economic use of your outsourcing. However, bearing in mind that you do immediately lose a lot of legal protection that you would have if you worked with an Australian business. A lot of Australian consumer law goes out the door once you're working internationally. It is a lot harder to get protection for your business when you're outsourcing internationally. We do have some clients of ours that actually do a mix of both. Some of their work is outsourced internationally, some of it they prefer to keep domestic.
1 minute.
Are you okay, Dave?
Yeah, 1 minute left. So.
Oh, okay, thank you. And you also need to decide whether you want an ongoing relationship or an ad hoc one. If you want an ad hoc relationship, that opens up options like Fiverr or Airtasker. And again, they can be significantly cheaper because you're working through the gig economy. Couple of objections here. I don't have time to teach someone else. VAs are in general very quick on the uptake. It is a lot easier to teach a VA than it is to teach a new staff member. A documentation tip, start a Zoom session. Screen share it and record yourself working or talking your way through a task. It is the quickest way to show someone else how you follow a process. What will my clients think about me outsourcing? You can tell your clients that you're outsourcing, but you do not have to. A lot of outsourcers are very, very good at just becoming a seamless part of your team. I can't afford to outsource. Well, as we've seen, can you afford not to? So just wrapping up, if you are ready to offload some headaches, please feel free to book a consultation with the Helping Hands group. Of course, we can talk to you about it. And just quickly, if you do make a booking, do bring along those lists that you created, and just quickly calling back to that list of things that you did enjoy. You do enjoy them, we will keep you with them, but we can also look at them because you may not be doing them the most efficient way possible. So thank you very much for listening this morning, and as we're running short, I won't run question time.